Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Sunday. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. I got a word for you. Tap and happy Sunday, guys. Happy Father's Day to all of my fathers out here. Even if you're not a biological father, but you play a role in mentorship in children's lives one way or another. I just want to celebrate you guys as well, because men a lot of the times typically feel that I think it's true too. They typically feel that they don't get as much recognition on Father's Day as mothers receive on Mother's Day. So I just wanted to give you guys a shout out today and let you know that you are appreciated and valued. So guys, today I want to speak in regards to typical things that the chosen one can deal with in the sense of being betrayed, rejected, offended, manipulated, wounded. I don't know, tied, just everything, right? Everything tied all in one pot and stirred. So I was listening to Pastor R.C. Blakes this morning, and he was speaking in regards to rejection and the sting of rejection. So to kind of summarize, I mean, he was speaking on it in the seed of it all, but then he also touched on the fact that chosen people, right? People we're chosen. We're chosen to assist, pour in, help, etc. other people, and typically we are the ones that deal with certain wounds. So he was speaking on in this particular scenario, like member pastors who maybe have like members who've left the church, and it's like you really like you've done nothing wrong to these individuals. Like all you did was love on, pour in, support, be there when no one else was there, right? And then they just pick up and leave for whatever reason. And he clarified that of course people leave churches all the time. You know, there's no problem with that. However, there's a certain way to do things, right? When you honor and you respect someone, you handle them with care, especially when they had your back when no one else had your back. So he was speaking in regards to that. So I'm just going to tie that in as a whole when it comes down to chosen people, right? So it may not be church. It's just in general. It's how we're set up. We are drawn, and he touched on that as well. And I'm 100% that way, have always been that way. We're drawn to the outcast. We're drawn to the broken. We're drawn to the needy, right? Because spiritually it's just the way that it's set up. So we're chosen people, are handpicked. We are vessels to pour into, to love, to see people that many others overlook, discarded, abandoned. But then it backfires. Make it make sense. How are we loving on, supporting, helping, assisting, pouring into just to get burned? Make it make sense. You would assume people who other people have rejected, judged, written off, you would assume when they discover someone who can overlook certain things, someone who's patient with them, someone who's trying to help them, you would assume they would latch onto that, be sure to respect and honor, be sure to lock down, lock in, be sure to appreciate, not just with words, but with actions, because you recognize this is a rare one, especially when all the others were the opposite. But how often does it happen that the chosen ones are handled with care? It's not often. Now, don't get it twisted, right? We've experienced that. We have a few, right? But these people have wisdom. These people are within the spiritual realm. They see you spiritually. They know and understand how this spiritual realm works. They understand the importance of reciprocity. They understand the importance of value and honor rare individuals. But listen, how did we just describe these people? So these are not going to be the people that you're typically drawn to. Remember, you're drawn to the broken. You're drawn to the... So if you're drawn to that, and it's just our calling for the most part. This is why it's important for us to separate the two. You have to, you can't, I think a lot of chosen people get burned. And regardless if you're healed or if you're not healed, you're still human. So it's going to still sting you. It's going to still have you disappointed. It's still going to have you side-eyeing. It's still going to have you feeling like, you know what, I'm not helping another soul. Can't do that. Can't do that. But I think what happens is a lot of people get to that stage of so low of broken because they didn't guard their heart. So low of broken that they didn't use wisdom and discernment. So low and broken because they didn't stay tapped in. When you are tapped in, God shows you everything from the jump. He warns you in advance. He may not release you yet, but he convicts you. Pay attention here. They're lying here, right? Even if he tells you don't say anything, he's warning you. You know it. We're spiritually sensitive. So what happens is a lot of chosen people try to ignore the conviction because you like what you like, or you want what you want. So you try to lie to yourself and make up excuses, even though your spirit is telling you exactly what it is. So we know that we're spiritually sensitive and we feel everything. Why are we questioning our spirit? Why are we questioning our spirit? Our spirit, not speaking flesh or red flags. Why are we questioning that feeling in our spirit that says something's not right? Why is common sense not telling us that a person who is broken, who is unhealed, who is traumatized, who is in survivor mode, wouldn't hurt the next person? If we know that hurt people, right? We know this. That's common sense. Hurt people. And a lot of the times it's not even intentional that they want to hurt you. It's just hurt people. So we know this. If we know we're called to those type of individuals, then why isn't common sense telling us to guard our heart? Why isn't common sense telling us to put your wall up and keep your wall there, no matter what you're hearing, no matter what they're saying to you, right? Common sense tells you they have to prove themselves over time. Common sense tells you you trust nothing what they say. Over time, their actions, not their words, their actions will prove to you their true character. But instead, people remove those boundaries. There's a tons of reasons on why that can happen, but people remove the boundary, and then you allow these people in full throttle, thinking you can trust them, even though your spirit is pinging all over the place, even though you know they're lying, even though you know they're cheating, manipulating, scheming. That's just the mindset of a person who's in survival mode. You may even know that because maybe you were once that person. So it's not about judgment, right? Let's keep it real. It's not about judgment because you may have some of the same struggles today. You're no different than them, if you will. You just answered the call. You went through a healing process. And so now God has shown you how to deal, assist, and help. The problem with the chosen one is we think everybody is our assignment. The problem with the chosen one, when God has been clear that, listen, there's no more you can do here. They're just not going to get it. They're not ready. It's time to go. We want to linger. The problem with the chosen one is once we leave, they know what they're losing, right? They knew all along. They just thought you would never pull out. But now that you pull out, right, it's the harassing. right? So now as a chosen one, you and that big, beautiful spirit, that big, beautiful heart, oh, their feelings are hurt. Did they care about hurting yours? Make it make sense. Why are, and listen, I'm just a vessel, right? Your girl deal with some of this stuff too, right? Let me just keep it real here, right? But why are we worrying about somebody else's feelings being hurt and they intentionally hurt ours? Make it make sense. This is why we have to say tap in. We can't move with flesh. We're not strong enough to move with flesh alone. Not a chosen person. Our hearts are too pure. We're too spiritually sensitive. We can't even be mean to people. We feel bad when we're mean to you. And you've given us every reason to be mean to you. This is why they can't understand. Once you cut them off, they finally see there's certain side of you because they've never seen that before. They've always seen the loving, the kind, the nurturing, the pouring into. But now when they burn you one too many times and you cut them off, now you're the bad person. Well, be the bad person. Because you warned them. You gave them chance after chance after chance. You let them know they were walking on thin ice. You let them know God have shown you. You let them know, as chosen people, we demand respect. You let them know you cannot handle us like the average person. We let them know we got choices. We will leave you on sight. You've warned them in advance. They didn't listen. So now that God says it's time to leave, why are you contemplating? Why are you feeling bad? When they fumbled you. So in this season, chosen ones, God is being very clear. Not only is he being clear, he's being firm. Either people are going to get it or they're not. Now, people cannot get it for different reasons, right? Some people are very prideful, stubborn, and stuck in their ways. Some other people just haven't really hit rock bottom, if you will. Some people are struggling with certain strongholds and demons, and that's something that, only them and God can work out. Right? Remember now, please keep to the forefront of our minds. We're not sent to change anybody. We're sent to be vessels to pour into, to potentially give a different perspective, but ultimately, whatever perspective, that's between them and God. But the issue is, when they're rejecting the perspective, then how can God use you? God sent you there as a vessel, but if they're rejecting everything you say and fighting against everything you say, they're just not ready. So now what happens? You're stressed out. Now what happens? They're drowning you while they're drowning. Is that God? That's going backwards. If God sent you to save or potentially help save, if God sent you with the life jacket, they've already taken the life jacket from you. They're drowning, and now you're drowning. Please make it make sense. That's also a trick of the enemy. Because now you're going backwards. When you came into the picture, they were going backwards. You were going up. Now all of a sudden, you're going backwards. They've pulled you in. That's a trick of the enemy that's going to cause you to miss the next season. A lot of people take advantage of grace. People tend to think that, quote unquote, whatever is for me is for me. It's true. It's very true. However, please don't ever get it twisted where we start to think that God won't raise up another person and replace us to get it done. God will move. Okay, let's say there's a territory that God wants to increase. Like God sees a lot of value there. This particular territory It may be their season where they've suffered for a very, very long time. And now God wants to really accelerate that particular land, that particular territory. But then there's one or two or three people that he handpicked to really to really put things in place, right? Do you think if those people are refusing to put the work in, refusing to work on their character, which are all things that are required, refusing to listen to other people who are more spiritually inclined than themselves, and they're rejecting every wisdom and knowledge that chosen vessels are giving them, do you think God is going to sit here and go back and forth with you over and over and over and over times 10 and over again to bless you, to use you to bless others? Why would he? No, he's going to be patient. He's going to be gentle. But after a while, God can get very, very firm. Like, listen. You've been playing with me for too long. I've helped you. I've given you the tools. I've sent you people. I've saved your life. What else do you need? At this point, let me just go ahead and thrust you back to where you came from, and I will raise up someone else in that same environment, in that same territory, and use them because they're ready. They're humble enough to receive assistance. Please don't ever get it twisted to think that just because God have promised us certain things, or we've asked for certain things and we're in alignment to receive it, that it's going to automatically be released. Do you know how many people miss out on their blessings? People miss out on their blessings all the time. People have lost good people. People who were literally God ordained for their lives have lost out on good people, and they will never in this lifetime see those people again. We can miss our own blessings based on our disobedience and our pride. Period. Chosen ones, you have to make a decision. Truth is, a couple of things. If you are still struggling and going back and forth with a person who cannot see your value, with a person who will not give you the respect that you earn, with a person that you're helping and you're assisting, with a person where there's no reciprocity, with a person who still have you in a lineup with normal people, and you know you're not normal, you're chosen, you're elite, point blank, period. With a person who is refusing to hear you. Nothing you say matter. Instead, it's dismiss because it's not important. Your feelings are not valid. They don't care. If you're going back and forth with yourself, asking yourself, should I stay or should I leave? Respectfully, you have more work to do. You need more time to build. And that's not a diss to you, right? Because anybody who gets to the point of no return of not letting people play in their face, they've had to put the work in, right? It just doesn't happen. You got to put the work in. There is no person, man or woman on the face of this earth who put the work in, who know who they are, they know what they carry, they're tapped in, will sit here and go back and forth with a person who don't value, honor, and respect them. Even love doesn't matter. Instead, you love yourself enough. But if you're struggling with loving yourself, again, different reasons, right? That can go left to a whole nother video. Let it be childhood wounds, trauma, all that stuff like that. But whatever, right? If you're broken and you're hurt and you're questioning your own self-worth, got to put the work in. If it gets to the point that God is ready for you now, like truly, he knows that you're caught up in maybe a soul tie or some type of narcissistic, demonic foolishness, right? If it gets to the point where he allows, not cause, allows it to burn you so bad, to break your little beautiful heart, to show you the manipulation, to show you they were using you, to show you, if he gets to the point where he shows you that, and it burns and stings so much that you have no choice but to leave, do not battle back and forth with God. Walk away, never to return. He will heal you in the process. Sometimes the healing takes place as you walk. You can yell, you can scream, you can plead, you can have 35,000 meetings of the minds, you can block them one day, unblock them the next day. People heard you the first time. Anybody in anything, man or woman, if they respect you, if they honor you, they're going to address what's bothering you the first time. And let's be fair and even give it a second or maybe a third time. Let's just say that's stretching it, because for me, 2 is enough. The first time is on me because I didn't stress what's bothering me. I didn't put my boundaries in place, maybe. The second time, that's going to be a warning. The third time, find somebody else to play with. I'll see you when Jesus comes home. But they don't know that side of the chosen one. All they know is that, oh, you're so nice, you're so kind. Yeah, oh, we're all that. But we're not to be played with. My brothers, if she doesn't honor, if she doesn't respect you, mainly when you've given her no reason to disrespect you, meaning like truly you're doing things the right way, like seriously, you're holding things down. I think this is popping up because I saw, you know what, I'm going to actually put the link in this comment section for my brothers. I came across a video on TikTok last night that was quote unquote a safe place for men, and those comments broke my heart because I didn't know men struggle so much with feeling like they're not worthy or not appreciated, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm going to put that link. If I forget, somebody please remind me. I'm going to put that link in this comment section. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you are, men or women, chosen ones. God is removing people left to right. I don't care who it is. If God has made it clear to remove them, remove them. Because we are at a season right now, it's going to be crucial if we ourselves are going to get promoted. Last season or the last situation may have been a final test before promotion, meaning he used you to test you to be sure you will be obedient to do the things that he said do. You did, right? You did. And then he says, okay, some people pass the test, so you could stay a little bit longer, or they themselves have been elevated to their own purpose and calling, next level. And then he says to you, job well done. Now it's time for you to be elevated to because of your obedience. Or he's going to say, your disobedience is going to cause you to drown with them. Pick your choice. Pick your choice. Stop trying to save the very people who are drowning you. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.